example, we don't believe you should be able to marry a 12-year-old.
Yeah, logically.
But that's freedom, isn't it? No, it's not, because that's license.
Yes.
So you must have the distinction, the philosophical maturity to know liberty versus licentiousness.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes. And then one thing I want to turn, because is like, so if you were to ask the entirety of America, if you're an American woman specifically, because they get abortions, if you were to ask every American woman, including states with abortion access like Illinois or like something like a southern state which doesn't have it, would you say that they have more rights and more freedom of choice, like bodily autonomy, than they did before Roe v. Wade was overturned?
States that outlaw abortion, of course, have more rights. You know why? Because women that are in the womb aren't being murdered, and they have the right to life.
That's where your view would come in, and that's
no, hold on. Let's think about this.
Yeah.
Is life a right? Do you have a right to life once you exist?
Yes, but then the argument is,
well, you
when
said
does
yes.
life begin?
Well, no. So then answer me the question. I mean, when I believe life begins at, not just what I believe, what science reflects. Human development starts at conception. We can agree at that.
Human development, sure, yeah.
Okay, no. So, but if it's human development, then it's human life. You have to find another word other than life.
Yeah.
So tell me what word besides life you would use
to describe like conceptions.
Conception.
Conception.
When it's fetus, whatever. What word other than alive? Because it's not dead. Because you could agree it's not dead because it has a heartbeat and DNA and the cells are forming and they're splitting. So if it's not alive and it's not dead, what word would you use?
I wouldn't necessarily call it alive. I wouldn't necessarily call it dead. I think there's a distinction. I wouldn't label it with one word just because it's like I don't have the.
But let's think about this more deeply because I can tell you're smart. We actually always exist on the binary of alive or dead.
Yeah, I mean.
So then you have to choose. It's either dead or alive. There isn't a third option. If you want to create one, you can go to the science department here and argue that. But what is the third option other than alive and dead?
I would say. I don't know what he said.
I don't know, but it's okay.
I would say the one thing I want to say is viability. I know I'm kind of dodging it, but like.
No, I know you are dodging it because and I'm not trying to pinpoint you. Just to close the thought, then we can go to viability. Abortionists cannot answer this question ever because there is not a third option.
Yeah.
You are either alive or dead. It is a binary of existence, right? Now you could be supportive when you are alive, meaning you might need to have medicine or you might need to have a ventilator, but you are still alive by